Frugal Rodeo Mom here. Gosh, today is a little more humid than it was yesterday, but we will take it. I am up, I am alive, and I have got a good topic for you today. This is something that I have dealt with my whole life. So, this is why I can talk confidently on this and tell you how to get around how to stop worrying about what others think of you. So the thing is being frugal, people have their own preconceived ideas on what that means. That means they look poor. That means that they look cheap. That means that they can't afford things. It means that they're barely getting by and they're not successful, which is all dumb. It's all dumb. I'm just going to call it out. It's all dumb. Those are your preconceived ideas about being frugal. And if the people around you also have those preconceived ideas, then they're not your friends. They're not going to grow with you. Okay? So, first one. Now, guys, I'm just going to call it out. Everybody deals with this at some point in their life. I have typically been a person that I don't really care what people think of me. That's just who I am. I don't, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I do what I can with what I have. And I'm proud and I make the best decisions based on what I have. However, that's not always true. There are certain groups of people that I want to think highly of me. And one of those groups of people are like the rodeo people and the equestrian group. I want people to have a good image of me there. So I do worry a little bit about what they think, but I want you to think about this as you are worried about that. All right. And I also worried when I first had kids whether people thought I was a good mom or not. You know what? I'm a great mom. I know that now. But yeah, that was one thing that I did worry about right at first is what was all the other mothers going to say? Who was going to, and you can sit there and drive yourself crazy. So here is my first thing. When you are sitting there worried about what other people are thinking of you, I want you to think about this. Is what you are telling yourself pure, honest facts? Did someone walk up to you and go, Rhonda, I think because you do frugal things, you're poor. Are you poor? We think you're poor. Are you poor? And is it a reality? If they did say that, is it the facts? Or are they just looking from the outside in, surmising what's going on? The funny thing that I found funny is we don't drive brand new cars. We don't believe in driving brand new cars. We don't have the biggest, fanciest truck and trailer out there. They're all older. They're very functional. They're very useful. They're very everything. And they're very paid off. I don't owe anything. So, and it took me a long time to get here with that in particularly because it's being in the rodeo. If you've been in it, it's all a big of keeping up with the Joneses, having the best horse, having the best trailer, having the best, which is not necessarily true, but it's what we try to do. So are they actual facts? Is what you're telling yourself actual facts, or is it something that you are thinking what they are thinking of you? So in other words, did somebody come up and say these things to you, or are you just bringing them up in your mind? If someone did come up to you and say these things, this is where you have to come back and go, what you're saying is not true. I did have somebody come up to me one time and it wasn't a horse person. It was actually a baseball person, actually. Came up to me and basically said to me that, but I don't remember how they worded the question, but they worded the question in such as that they wanted to know if I could afford for my son to be part of baseball because we just didn't look that rich. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly the question. It was worded a little bit different. And I kind of had to do one of these where I was like, wait, did you just call me poor? Like, did you just tell me you think I'm poor? And then in that split second, I took offense to it because I was like, I said, is this how you see me? Do you think I'm poor? Do you think I can't afford to have my child in this program? Like, just because I don't drive a brand new car to baseball, and that's all they had ever seen of me prior to that was my car. And just because I don't wear name brand Under Armour clothes does not mean that we can't afford this. So that just took me back. And that's where you really have to look at yourself. Like, I didn't realize how fortunate I was until I went to the bank. We were talking about getting the mortgage on the place that we have. And the banker looked at me and goes, "This is all the debt to income you have?" "Yeah, this is all the debt we have." "Well, you got nothing. You got no debt. A lot of people have $40,000, $50,000 in credit card debt. You got nothing." And I'm like, "No, I don't have anything." So that's when it really came to me. So here's where it comes to my number 3. This is where you have to own who you are, and you have to own your way of life and know that you are doing what you're choosing to do is giving you the way of life, and be confident. Confident always trumps any of these thoughts of what people think of us. Confidence always do. If you walk around with confidence, like when that person came to me and basically told me I looked like I was poor, I laughed. I physically laughed at them. I'm like, "Are you saying I'm poor?" "No, no, 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 no. I'm not saying that." "Yeah, you are. That's what you just said." "No, not in so many words, but I just came out more direct and said it." And I looked at them and I go, "Do you know what my debt to income ratio is? Do you realize that all the vehicles I drive are paid off? Do you realize that truck and trailer that I drive around in is paid off?" And I'm not saying this to brag, guys. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is, if you're working towards all of that, be confident in that. Be confident in that, and don't worry about what other people think about it, because it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. Those are their thoughts. And it's probably, if you really get right down into it, they're jealous because you're doing something that they can't figure out how to do. So live frugally, own it, love it, be confident about it. It doesn't mean anything other than you are telling your money where to go, and you are making what income you do have work for you. That is all it means. If somebody else wants to put their thoughts and their opinions in on it, that is their problem. It is not yours. So go out confidently today, live frugal. Sorry, I went a little over time, but I thought this was a great topic. Guys, I talked about one of my favorite gadgets, kitchen gadgets that makes my life a lot easier, over in my Facebook group. So grab the link to that. It's in whatever description you're watching, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.